Good heavens, and welcome to Phonyville, where everything is made up and the points don't matter.
That's the wrong show. You stole that.
No, I actually wrote that's part of my... We've got a great show coming up, totally packed with news, discussion, your very own communiques, and various other podcasting cliches.
So let's get started.
First up, we have some news. Treble has more news than I do, because I haven't really opened my eyes for the past week. I've kind of been comatose, kind of been out of it, kind of been underneath the ground, doing what I do.
Well, it should still be going on by the time that we release this. There is a write-off being hosted by Austraeoh Daily. If you all do not know what the write-off is.
Isn't it the friend-off, right, this time?
I think it's called the friend-off.
I think it's called the friend-off. I remember when they did the last one, it was a while ago, but I didn't participate then, but, well, go ahead, explain what it is.
Yeah, it's to produce, I guess you would call more community-involved projects, whereas if you're a writer, you will take a piece of artwork that someone has done in the Burning community and write a fanfic about it. And artists are encouraged to read fanfics and draw new pictures about it.
And people who don't read fanfics are encouraged to stop being hipsters. No, that's mean. I don't know, you get those people where you're like, hey, did you read that fanfic? And they're like, I didn't read fanfic. And you're like, well, why don't you read fanfic? You just not like reading? And they're like, no, I didn't read fanfic. And then they gallop off on their horse, wield their battle axe. The LARPers, that's what I'm thinking of, LARPers. No.
But LARPers do read fanfic.
LARPers?
If you've met any actual bona fide LARPer, they are in plenty of different fandoms.
You know, a little bird told me that Apple Cider of Phonyville podcast used to be a LARPer back in the day. Who knew, right? Everybody that he told on his podcast. I guess the point is, there's really not that much in news. Austraeoh Daily's doing what they do. YouTubers are doing what they do. Conventions are gonna happen eventually, but...
Oh, which reminds me of a convention. At BabsCon. Oh gosh, what's her face? I do not remember her name, nor do I remember the pony she plays.
That's...
some voice actor is going to be at BabsCon. I don't remember.
That's newsworthy. Hey, did you know that they're going to be having guests at BabsCon this year, as opposed to last year when they had 3 snails and a cockroach, and also the guy who played the voice of the cymbals in that one episode with the cymbals.
Anywho, speaking of Babs, we were talking about this a bit ago.
We were.
DJ doesn't agree with me that Babs' accent is really cool.
He thinks that Babs' accent is, for some reason, the coolest accent that he's heard. He thinks it's real, primarily.
I know it's not real. That's what makes it cool.
So you think that fake stuff is cool?
Awkward pause. No, I wouldn't say that. But it's...
Is it cool because it's fake?
No, it's just cool because it sounds really cool.
It sounds really cool. You know what else sounds really cool? Babs getting out of the episode and not being on it. Master of comebacks. No, I don't like it. I think it's tacky.
They need more Babs.
I think it's unoriginal.
What?
I think it slips a lot. I'm not saying Apple Bloom's accent slips a lot, because Michelle Creeber is one of those people that I would never want to hurt the feelings of. But Apple Bloom's accent, wow, it's kind of slipping a bit. I don't know if there's a reason for that. I don't know if they just used the wrong takes. Maybe somebody's getting sloppy.
Don't blame the voice actors, blame the producers.
Blame the producers. Voice actors.
And when you can, blame Faust.
When you can, blame Hasbro. Just say it was because of a cease and desist order that they made. That's the reason for all evil in the world. You hear about Ebola? That's caused by Hasbro. They sent a cease and desist to Liberia, and now everybody has Ebola.
Well, I guess we could now start blaming Discovery Family for things, because they replaced the hub.
You know, I never blamed the hub for stuff, though. I blamed Hasbro.
I wasn't even sure who the hub was, because I watched all episodes online.
You know, legally.
Yeah. Yes, definitely legally.
Anyway, we got a new section called... Not a new section. We got a section called Fanfiction. And it looks like Treble's been actually reading some stuff this week.
Yes.
What have you been reading? I heard... First of all, you just told me a little while ago, you spent the week reading on a quest to read every story in the feature box?
Yes.
Why?
Because I was really bored.
This is why you don't quit your job.
I quit my job because I had no time left to do anything. Now I have more time.
You have too much time.
Yes, and just getting another job is going to go back to the having no time for anything. Anywho, back to the fanfiction.
I feel like there's a fault in this logic. Somewhere.
The two, they're both comedies, because I have two of them that I pulled out. The first one is Twilight Sparkle Exports Herself Repeatedly, by Lapis Lazuli and Inky J. Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but the title says exports herself repeatedly.
Yeah, let's define export.
When in fact, the title really should be saying Twilight Sparkle ships herself repeatedly. Basically, the full free press has grown huge, and the Gabby Gums articles are getting bigger. And so people, or the reporters, keep inquiring about Twilight's love life. Now, this is in present day, so she's an alicorn. So everyone's wondering who the new prince or princess, we're not going to judge, of Equestria is going to be. Basically, the entire
I'm going to judge. I'm going to wonder who the next prince of Equestria is going to be. No, I'm not going to judge. But I am going to assume. I mean, for instance, she did have that bit with Flash Sentry.
That's nothing.
You know?
It's going to be nothing.
Maybe it will be something.
No.
You never know.
Anything.
You never know until you find out.
No. I can tell you right now that's not going to be a thing.
Well, okay. Obviously, the canon ship for Twilight is Twilight Sparkle X Troublemaker. That's been confirmed by Studio B, so...
I wasn't even interested. Like, if I had to choose anyone, it would be Octavia.
Octavia?
Yes.
Okay. I would pick Vinyl.
Obviously.
We could live next door to each other. Wouldn't be awkward.
You know what would be awkward?
The next story you're going to talk about.
That was a beautiful segue.
Thank you.
The next story I'm going to talk about is Unicorn Horns Are Made of Candy by O. Calhoun. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
I'm just going to assume that you didn't. I'm
okay.
going to make fun of your pronunciation, even if it is right.
Yeah, I don't pronounce worth. This is 2,500 word short story where basically unicorn horns are made of candy.
We're not going to say roller coaster ride too many times, but...
It's a roller coaster ride.
A little bit.
And I'm not going to say anything about this fic, basically because you should read it yourself.
Also, that's kind of self-explanatory.
Exactly.
Just know that Pinkie Pie is involved.
Yes, that...
And that unicorn horns are made of candy.
Has anyone noticed that Pinkie causes way too many problems in the series? Inadvertently, too.
Has anyone noticed that Pinkie Pie is awesome?
Yes,
I think one or two people.
And she doesn't actually get the credit she deserves. I mean, seriously.
That's true. You break it, you buy it, and you don't get any credit for anything good you do after that. At least that's what the guy at Best Buy told me. I got a fanfic suggestion. The Austraeoh series. Well, I don't know if it's called the Austraeoh series, but that's the first book, Austraeoh. I'm going to pretend like I'm pronouncing it correctly.
And I'm going to laugh at your pronunciation.
Do it. I dare you.
Ha. Ha 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 ha.
Triple
ha,
diamond
ha, ha,
dog
ha.
dare you.
Ha.
That was insensitive. Especially in the workplace. The Austraeoh series by Imploding Colon. Holy shoot. If you want a long series full of long books with millions and billions and trillions of words and complicated storylines and epic quests that even I don't know how it ends yet because I think he's still writing them and it takes forever just to read one story. From what I've heard or read on his page, Imploding Colon's page, the series is meant to be composed of, it's meant to comprise 10 separate books, and each book...
Define book. How many words?
Hundreds of thousands of words.
Dang.
Yeah.
I think the largest fanfic I read was...
You obviously haven't read Fallout Equestria.
No.
Fallout Equestria is kind of the standard.
I need to. I need to read it.
Yeah. Let's just say it's the standard for long fics, and these fics are, well, together, much, much longer. It's bugged out.
So if you have way too much time on your hands, read it.
Yeah. The next piece of fanfiction that I want to talk about isn't a specific piece of fanfiction. It's actually an author. Some of you guys might have heard of The Descendant, who's the best pony rider in the history of pony riders in the history of ever. Absolutely my favorite guy who writes things about ponies ever in the world. You gotta read his stuff. That's all I can say. You gotta like Ravens.
Give us an example.
An example? Okay, my all-time favorite story, Tangled Up in Blues. It's heartwarming, it's hilarious, it's poignant, it's nostalgic, it's musical, it's written by the Descendant.
Is it vinyl?
No,
fic?
no, it's not a vinyl fic. It's actually about Blues, the background pony you may have seen before, and his life of misadventure and sad things happening to him, and spoilers, a happy ending.
That's almost required in a story. So not really a
no, it's not.
spoiler. I'm gonna say it's almost required in modern day culture novels.
I'm gonna say it's
that.
not.
Because then you end up going on fanfiction and you realize there's so many dark and depressing works, it's not even funny.
I think it's needed. And then you have stories like Hoopy McGee's that are just good, solid stories that feel epic, and at the end you go, that was a good story. I like Hoopy as well. But The Descendant, top story ever. We're gonna transition now.
That was as smooth as butter.
Smooth.
If butter was forced to slide down a cheese grater.
I can't believe it's not transition.
Anyway,
It was by a narrow margin. Get it?
I know.
It was a smart balance. Gonna talk about music now.
On to music. My first, an individual song I have for you all, Into the Green by And I featuring Chi Chi. Now, I'm going to say and I hope it's not and one.
Might be ampersand I. No, seriously, it's an ampersand. It's the symbol.
It could be, but that wouldn't make sense.
It's like, the artist, well, okay, I'm going to call him the artist formerly known as the artist formerly known as Prince formerly known as Prince, because I think he switched from being the artist formerly known as Prince after he was the artist formerly known as Prince. But it's the same kind of thing where it's a symbol and you're not really sure how to pronounce it.
But and I makes the most logical sense.
Out of all of them. I
will always love you.
Download that on iTunes. Link in the description.
Down below. Everyone does that.
Everybody does that. Oh, I forgot we're shooting video.
Oh. yeah, we are shooting video.
Yep, I'm wearing pants.
Anywho, okay. Chi-Chi's a very talented singer. You should look it up.
Oh, yeah. I heard just a snippet of it earlier. Holy shoot. That's good stuff. Powerful, good music. Singing.
I don't have a next song, but two artists that I recently discovered that you should look up.
Do it, Philly. It's an expression.
Okay. That was weird. Violet Pony and Turquoise Splash. Now, I don't think they have anything to do with each other in common. I think Turquoise Splash does some stuff with Forest Rain, if I don't remember.
Oh, correctly. I love Forest Rain.
Yeah. But, for example, Fall to the Clouds by Violet Pony is probably one of my favorite songs of all time.
You're talking pony and non-pony.
Of all time.
Of all time. Okay.
I don't really listen to non-pony music anymore. It's just... I'll listen to the radio, but that's not like... It's
not music, is that what you're saying?
It's just pop.
Pop isn't music. I mean, well, actually, here's what I'm going to say. Pop is sometimes music. And to prove that pop is sometimes music, I'll introduce you to a pony power pop band. I'm talking about the Shake-Ups in Phonyville. Very near and dear to my heart because they operate around here. Unnamed location.
Thank you.
Straight out of Indianapolis, where we're broadcasting. And, they're around here. They're pretty local. Some local yokels. These focals are not jokels. He's shaking his head.
They can see on the video, if you're in fact watching the video. If you're not, don't. It's probably worse than just the audio.
We ugly.
That too.
Anyway, yeah, I want to talk about their song, Invasion of the Parasprites. I know it's one of their favorite songs, and I think it doesn't get enough recognition. I probably listened to it like 3 times earlier today. Yes, very catchy band, well done, good stuff. Seriously, listen to Shake-Ups in Phonyville. I'm gonna say something eloquent.
Okay.
No, I'm not. We're gonna talk about miscellaneous stuff. Really, the only miscellaneous stuff we have going on is the project that I've been doing some work on, the Winter Bells Almost Radio Play, or whatever it is that Joe wants to call it. Talking about the Mighty JoeHighlord, that British bastion of excellence. narrator guy. You may have heard of him. You probably have. He's mega famous. He's well famous. And anyway, he's been compiling this project for a while. It's an audio adaptation of Winter Bells, which, if you don't know it, it's a sequel to Past Sins. You've probably heard of Past Sins. I think pretty much everybody's heard of Past Sins. But if you haven't heard of Past Sins, go read Past Sins. That's what I'm saying.
It'll take you a day and a half, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. He's talking a day and a half sitting in your basement, drinking Mountain Dew and wearing your underwear, doing nothing but scrolling down a computer screen and reading this story and eating nachos. That's what he means by a day and a half. He doesn't mean if you have a normal life. He doesn't mean do some homework.
It's pretty hefty.
Come home, make yourself a cup of tea, read some Past Sins.
Hey, tea can be very calming.
That's going to take you till Hanukkah, at least. Maybe even Kwanzaa.
It's relative when we upload the video to when someone listens to the video.
Yeah. Mostly people watch videos and listen to audio. Video being Latin for I see.
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I realized I keep referring to this as video when it should be podcast because some of you are listening only audio.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the link in the description for Mighty JoeHighlord's channel. And you can keep updated on that. You can check out this awesome project. I know I've been working on some music for it, even done some voices, terribly. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Just check it out. You should check it out. All right, next up we have some more fan mail. Yes. Fiddlebow in California writes, wow, you guys are on your second episode already, and I can't believe it's not butter. Yeah, that's, we can't believe it either. Honestly, we've been looking at this for quite a while, and the results are in. We think it's quite likely enough that it's some kind of synthetic material, maybe motor oil. We're not really sure at this stage, but, I just don't think we can believe it's butter. Or that it's not. Either way, it just falls, on either side of the spectrum there. Daring Didn't, in Idaho, writes, you guys, I understand that you're doing this podcast, and it's really cute. But what about the baby seals? Yeah, as for the baby seals, here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to donate 10% of all upvotes to the baby seals so that they can have a home built out of Facebook likes. Because you know how effective that is.
Very effective.
Yeah, I think it's super effective.
First of all, that's an awesome name, Daring Didn't. Good job.
I like that. Okay, and finally, you want to read the last one?
Sure. Googly Eyes in South Dakota says... What?
Now we've got Straight from the Horse's Mouth, which is the pony quote of the week. And I think you've got a quote.
I have a quote from Unicorn Horns Taste Like Candy, the fanfic that I recommended a little bit ago. And because Luna does a Camelot voice, I'm going to try my best attempt at one. Is it on? On?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Flee! The big one is upon us!
I kind of wound down like a Hoover at the end there. That was pretty good. I think you might have a market there. Ladies and gentlemen, alien life forms, ponies of all ages.
Transition.
Well, hey there, listeners. You know you listen to the Phonyville podcast on the podcast network of podcasts. Yeah. Anyway, if you like what you hear, then get in touch. Don't be shy. Our email address is phonyville@gmail.com. Rewind and listen to that again. No need. I'll say it again. Phonyville@gmail.com. Our website is phonyville.blogspot.com. Hit us up. Listen to the episodes. Let them roll over you like a tidal wave of ponies and nice things. Ooh, yeah.
And with that, we come to the end of our show.
There's pretty much no place to go but out.
We're closing up here.
Take the door on your left, and you'll be transported to a life-size TARDIS. I think. Well, relative speaking, it would be life-size.
Take the door on the right, and you'll receive a tiny turtle resting atop a mango-flavored smoothie.
It's entirely possible that on the other side of either of these doors is nothing but the Rainbow Factory.
Good luck.
Pax Phoboscum?
Do the thing.
Now a rainbow's tale isn't quite as nice as the story we knew of sugar and spice. But a rainbow is easy once you get to know it, with the help of the magic of a Pegasus device. Mythology. It's easy to misjudge that floating city with its alluring decor and social psychology. But with all great things comes a great responsibility, that of Clarksdale's being weather stability. How, you ask, are they up to the task? To which the answer is in a simple facility. True. In the Rainbow Factory, where not a single soul gets through. In the Rainbow Factory, where your fears and horrors come true. In the Rainbow Factory, where not a single soul gets through.
I still have so much editing to do.
Time is coming soon.